Welcome back, everyone. Hope you are well. You join me as the sun behind me starts to set on Benidorm, and all I can hear, I don't know if you can pick any of it up. Let me put the mic out the window for a moment. Maybe not. In the distance, all I can hear is British voices singing away and making a nuisance of themselves. Good evening, one and all. Thank you for joining me. For those that thought you got rid of me forever, I'm sorry to disappoint you, but you haven't. Yes, there's going to be a slight change of tact on this show, but it is going to stay. And so am I. Steve Howes, holy crap, I'm first. Good evening, Steve. Thank you very much for joining us. 420 people watching already. Just Janice, how you doing, Debbie? Thank you, Debbie, very, very much indeed. Steve, I don't mean shellfish, I mean selfish. I'll get onto that a little bit later. Jazzy B. Evening, Paul, in sunny Benidorm from a little bit of sunny England. Evening, Jazzy. How you doing? How you doing, Natasha? Bronson. Thank you very much. Good evening, Catherine. Good evening to you all. I won't go through all the names, obviously. Far too many. Might be a long show tonight, guys, because as SW says, I'm feeling rather chilled. I'm actually happier than I've been for a long time. We'll get to all that later on in the show, but welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me. It's just me tonight. I'm going to start bringing back guests in the not too distant future. But for now, I'm just taking care of my own well-being and mental health and just getting myself back on a level playing field. What I've decided to do is I just want to be me. I don't want to be associated with anyone, good, bad or ugly in particular. I want people to understand me for me, not for anyone else. Jackie, just that intro makes me happy. Thank you, Jackie. The lovely, lovely Claire Bear. Thank you, Claire. Lovely to see you, hun. Claire is one of my moderators, and I owe her a big debt of gratitude, along with Ian and the other lads who mod for me. But Claire, I wish you well in your little venture that we spoke about earlier on in the week. Nicola, Sheila, good evening. Jazzy B, missed your beautiful voice, Paul. Oh, I don't know about that. 673 beautiful souls watching. Thank you, Lizzie. I'm such an idiot. I came out here. I mean, I've been coming here long enough, right? I should know what I need clothes-wise, but I never learn, do I? I packed a load of sweatshirts and jackets and half a dozen T-shirts, and you know what it's like. The weather's been better than expected. You're looking dapper, geezer. Thank you very much, mate. Trevor, all for one and one for all. Sexy pizza man tonight. Oh, don't get me on the sexy pizza. My Spanish is coming on really well, actually. Hulk's Green Arse, another long-term viewer. Looking good, 4p. Have a great stream. Thank you, mate. Congratulations to your team on winning the Premiership. Nobody. Hello from sunny Brighton. Costa del Spurs. Evening, Paul. Up the Spurs. Do you know what? Talking about football shirts, you have never seen so many football shirts than you will over there. Where are we? Over there, behind my shoulder. Unbelievable. I reckon half you lads, all you pack is your shorts and your footy shirt. And I've seen them all. Winner today, winner of the football shirt parade today. The Happy Hammers. I think I've seen about probably 4 or 5 West Ham shirts today. Couple of Sunderland shirts. Always interesting to see, being a football man, I love to see who's wearing what. Thank you, Jean. Thank you, Pauline. Loved you all. Hi, Dawn. DJ Audits, how you doing, mate? Lovely to see you. Thank you very much. Right, let's get into, we've got some topics to get into tonight. Look, first of all, I better start off with, I think from now on, I better start off with a warning on every show. If you see any comments in the chat from me or allegedly from me asking you to contact me via WhatsApp or via Telegram, it is a scam. Please do not do it. And if anyone sees any of those messages, please warn other people that it is a scam. And that's not just on this channel, it's on all the channels. Any popular channels, these bloody scammers appear. Please warn others and be careful yourself if you don't already know, which hopefully you do now. Matthew Davis, you mean so much to us, Paul. Don't stop what you do, otherwise my watch might become worthless. Thank you, Matthew. Ned, Starmer is pure evil. I think Starmer's in a lot of trouble. And even his own backbenchers seem to be turning against him now, don't they? But not for the right reasons. It is my friend, Des the Ledge. Des, lovely to see you, brother. Missed you. I hope I'm going to see you in September. A few of my old friends hopefully going to be coming over in September for a very good friend's birthday. Looking forward to that one very much, all getting together. Yeah, I think that Starmer's in a lot of trouble, isn't he? Even his own backbenchers are turning against him. The question is, why? Well, they're turning against him because the buggers are fearing for their jobs and their income. Not because they care about anyone, but because they care about themselves. What's new with politicians? Red or blue, they're all the bloody same. I don't trust any of the buggers. I don't know about you. But over the last 12 months or so, I thought to myself, if I was 20 years younger, I would love to have got properly and deeply into politics. However, what I found out in my year within the movement, my year within or being around politics, what I found is that there's very few people that I'd actually want to be around or associated with that are within the world of politics. People that pretend to be your friend one minute, stab you in the back the next. Very, very disappointing. Very disappointing. But I guess that is politics. That's what it's all about. So I'm probably, excuse me, sniffing, probably not cut out for it, to be fair. I think it takes good people to change the world for the better. Genuinely good people. And for me, there's not enough good people in politics. Even in June. Thank you, Catherine. I'm definitely not delivering sexy pizzas tonight, Maureen. No chance. I've got to practice that one. Jack, bring back Ben Habib. Spoke to Ben a couple of days back. He was not very happy about some of Nigel's comments. Mr. Thump, missing your airgun reviews. Do you know what? I would love to do some more of that, actually. But some big news before we go any further tonight. I've got some big news, which I may as well get out of the way. Let me just show you. Can you see? There's Benidorm over there. That is the Sleeping Man, that mountain that you can see in the background. Let's have a look. Julie Watts, good evening. I am in Benidorm, Paul, for a weekend with some friends. I actually live in Spain, about 2 hours drive away. We'll say hi if I bump into you. Well done, Julie. Well, you'll see me mooting about up and down the strip, probably incognito, looking a right wally in me crash helmet that I have to wear. The big news is that many of you will probably have kind of guessed by now, but my wife and I have decided to stay here for the foreseeable future. Right now, we have no plans to come back to the UK, either short or even long term. For us, for no one else other than for us. And if people out there are annoyed with me for that, so be it. That is their right. But what I've found out is that there are some very selfish people out there. We're going to talk about selfish people tonight, first of all, and then later on, I want to talk about what you guys want to talk about. As I said, it might be a long one tonight. Dolby, so pleased you didn't disappear. Thank you, bless you. But when we talk about selfish people, Lubna update, I haven't actually got one, but we'll talk about Lubna later on. Remind me. What rattled my cage today was I was watching Dan Wootton earlier. Big respect to Dan. I was watching Dan Wootton and I saw a poll on his channel. Let me just get it up because I've got it here. And this was the poll. Dan Wootton outspoken 49 minutes ago. That was when he was live. At the time of me taking a screenshot of this, 2,483 people had voted. Was Tommy right to delete silenced from the internet? 71% of people said yes. 29% of selfish buggers said no. Now, I want those figures to just sink in a minute. 29% of those voting think Tommy or his team was wrong to take down that video because, first of all, Tommy didn't take down anything. Tommy's in jail, unfortunately. But people close to him have decided to purge his contempt of court by removing that video after it's been seen 160 odd million times or whatever. But 29% of selfish buggers think that he hasn't given enough. 29% of people who have probably done absolutely nothing for their country think that he should remain in jail and risk being arrested when he walks out of the prison gates for a second time and potentially go back to jail once again. Lovely. Very nice. 29% of people, if with followers like that, who needs enemies? I actually didn't want Tommy to show that film on at the event when I can't even remember what it was now. Was it July? Can't remember. Last year? I think it was. I didn't actually want him to show that film because I had a funny feeling that it wasn't going to end well, and so it proved. I personally I'm very pleased that film has been removed. I have never personally shared that film. Now, I didn't share that film deliberately, and I'll tell you why. There were two reasons why I didn't share that film. Reason one, not that it was going to bring me any heat, because I wouldn't be in contempt of court for showing that film personally, but I decided that that was the law and I wasn't going to break it. But the main reason that I didn't show that film is because I didn't believe that ultimately long term it was going to help his cause. And again, so it proved. So I'm glad that whoever is behind the removal of the film has taken the decision to purge his contempt. And there is now no reason on earth why he shouldn't be released from prison, and not on the 27th of July, but immediately. Why not? He's done what the court has asked. He could have accepted a shorter sentence at the time of sentencing, and I believe the time is right for them to let him free. But I'm pissed off. I'm angry that 29% of people haven't had enough entertainment from this warrior being in jail. 29% of people are happy enough for the film to stay up so the point can continue to be made whilst the man that made the point rots away in prison. Wow. I can't understand it. I really don't understand people's views. I really don't. That is not good. Mark's asking for an update on the watch market. Mark, do you know what? I've not looked at the watch market for over a year, I'm afraid. I'm well out of the picture on that one. Lubna. So let's talk about Lubna for a moment. And don't forget, guys, tonight is about you as much as anything. So let's see, what you want to talk about in the comment section, and we'll do this. Jean says, lovely to see that smile, makes this OAP smile. God bless you, Jean. Thank you very much, darling. I really appreciate that. Spain is treating you well. Couple of things on Spain. I've got to tell you, some of the behaviour of the Brits out here is rather embarrassing. I have to be honest. The Spanish, the locals do very well to put up with some of the behaviour, especially after a few beers have been had. But, well, I guess the boys, when on holiday, boys will be boys. But in general, the Spanish are really polite, very welcoming. But I'm very mindful of that, and I'm making every effort to let them know that I'm in their country. I don't expect them to change their ways for me. I must adapt to them. And that is only right. Whilst I'm here, I don't want anything for free. I expect to pay my way. I expect to pay more than the Spanish. I don't expect any free healthcare treatment. Certainly don't expect anywhere to live for free. The Spanish people should come first, and I should be at the back of the queue. This is their country, and I respect that. And so should everyone else, that wherever you visit, wherever you go in the world, you should always respect the natives' customs, their beliefs. When I travel to Dubai, or if I travel to a Muslim country, I don't have any problems adapting to their rules because I'm on their turf, right? When in Rome. That's the way I see it. Paul, have you got a filter on? You look so young. I don't think so, but I might have. I'm going to be disappointed if I have now. I'm going to be disappointed if I have. Lubna, let's get back to Lubna. 1,350 people watching. Lovely to see you all. How's my head, Rick? Yeah, my head's all right. Lucky I had a crash helmet on. Yeah, I mean, Lubna really, Lubna's situation really upset me the other day. I'm glad to see that she's managed to raise a significant amount of money on her GoFundMe page. That's brilliant. I think she's gained a load of subscribers as well. I've actually lost about 600 over the last 10 days or so. But there's 600 people that I wouldn't want following me anyway. So it's not a bother. Just like the 29% that want Tommy to stay and rot in jail. You don't need friends like that. Had a great Indian here the other night. Found a great Indian restaurant. Go on, Paul. All the best from Ashton Underline. Thanks, Andy. Looking good for 40. My God, I wished. Greetings from Florida. Nice one. Luna Jules says, you're looking a lot happier. Says a lot about life in the UK, doesn't it? Luna, it does. And I've, you know, it's mixed feelings, me being here and deciding now to stay here for the foreseeable future. Let me elaborate on that a little bit and where I think we're at as a family. Well, as a family, me and my wife. I hope the audio's all right, by the way, guys. Dave, it's not a green screen, mate. That is the real deal. That is the real deal. So we've had a lot of discussions about this. If we go home, what do we face? Well, I probably face a good grilling at the airport again. I would prefer not to have one similar to what Danny experienced. And by the way, there are some very strange people out there questioning the authenticity of my interview with Danny and the integrity of it and the authenticity of Danny actually being questioned for 5 hours by the anti-terror police back at Gatwick. All I'll say to that is those people that have questioned that, shame on you. Shame on you, honestly. And if you can prove that we're lying, and if we was lying, actually you could prove it. Tell you what, I'll give you a £5,000 reward for proving that we lied. It's a lot of money, £5,000, and I'd have trouble finding it. But I've got to be honest with you, I'm not in any danger of having to spend it because every word we said is true. But shame on those people that would doubt that horrible situation that my good friend Danny was put through. Yeah, so glad to see Lubna's able to maybe, you know, try and help herself a little bit. That was a testament to the community out there. Going back to our situation out here, look, I think that I don't want to go home and face more unhappiness. And the UK doesn't feel a welcoming place for me right now. Doesn't feel like my home. I don't feel that those with my beliefs are appreciated under this government. I think they would be under other governments. I think they would be under all other governments, really. My views would be, if not welcome, they would be accepted and respected. But under this government, I feel exiled. Would I be in danger if I come home? No, I don't think so, in all seriousness. But I don't feel welcome. And I feel welcome here. I've been made welcome here. I feel welcome here. So we've decided to stay for the foreseeable future. We are currently living in a rather small but very nicely situated studio apartment. We're now looking for somewhere to stay more permanently, whether that be renting or buying, we don't know. But the plan is to stay here now until this Labour government have gone. Do I want to go home? Yeah, I do. In all honesty, I would. Look, home's home, right? You can't be at home somewhere for 64 years and then just switch off and call somewhere else home. But I don't see me coming back under this government. Haircut, come on the Villa. Yeah, you beat us last week, didn't you? Yeah. Any Chelsea shirts or just me? Sorry, Sue, I haven't. Mind you, I wouldn't admit it if I had, to be fair, would I? Come on. Haven't seen any Fulham shirts either, to be honest. Don, come on, you irons. Yeah, there's been a few of you lads out here today. Fed up Brit, thank you. Fee, I'll disappear if it's football. Nah, it's not all football. Natalia, click the like button. Thank you, Natalia. I really appreciate that. And ignore the scammers. Yeah, absolutely. Melanie, hope that we are in Benidorm when my partner and I come out in November. It will be good to see you. Well, at the moment, Melanie, it looks like we'll be here. A lot of people are saying, oh my God, my eyes need testing. I thought it said shellfish. I better check my thumbnail. I didn't misspell it, did I? Yeah, it is a lovely view. The sun's obviously now setting and you can see Benidorm by night. Let me see if I can give you a bit better view. Hold on a minute. Let me see if I can move the computer. There we go. Not bad. Toon Army's in the house. Oh, Dawn, that's very clever. Dawn's just guaranteed me a load of upvote buttons. Nice one, Dawn. I'll have to remember that. Hey, Ian, how you doing, mate? Lovely to see you. Alex, thank you very much from Ashford. Oh, yeah, I tell you what, there's a few Wolves fans out here. Yeah, there is. Thank you, Lee. All the best. Remember, you can only stay in Spain for 90 days per year. Yeah, we'll have to apply for a visa. Paul, am I going to do an air gun review soon? Not out here, Lee, to be honest with you. If I was back home, I would have been able to do it. But out here, not really, mate. We'll see. I don't know what the situation is out here. Brian says, I'm looking chirpy. No, I am chirpy, mate. I try and always be chirpy. If you're not going to be associated with anyone good or bad, who will you have on your channel? It's a good question, that. I mean, look, not being associated with someone, maybe I articulated that incorrectly. Maybe I said that the wrong way. But I've been doing YouTube now for 10 years on and off. And I've learned in the past that if you speak to someone, let's say I speak to this vape. Let's pretend this vape is a guest on my show. I speak to this person, this vape, and I've got no reason not to speak to this person. 6 months down the line, this person does something wrong. Now, I'm not a mind reader. I don't know what this person's going to do in 6 months. But the fact that I've spoken to this person and had them on my show has come back to haunt me in the past. Guilt by association, which is complete and utter nonsense. And I've got a bit fed up with it, in all honesty. So if I don't have guests, then I can't be associated with anyone else, can I? But then at the same time, that shouldn't stop me from having friends on the channel, and it won't stop me from having friends on the channel. But people need to understand that just because I have someone on my channel doesn't mean to say that I necessarily agree with everything they say. It definitely doesn't mean that I agree with everything they do, and it definitely doesn't mean that I approve of everything they do sometime in the future. I mean, most people would get this, but some people don't. Ricky from Glasgow watching in Turkey. Nice one, mate. I've met a few of you lads out here. Good Scottish boys. Hi, Nobby. Thanks, Christine. We all miss Richard. Yeah, look, I tell you what, look, Richard is a friend of mine, right? And Richard will be back on this channel at some stage in the future. So will Danny. But what everyone needs to understand is that everyone that comes on my channel will be here because, as far as I'm concerned, they've done nothing to me. They've done nothing wrong. And they're their own people. Everyone is responsible for their own actions and their own actions alone. But I won't be bullied into not having guests. But at the same time, I need to make it clear that the only things that I'm responsible for are the things that I do. And that's it. The Tilly to Tandem Travels. Politics can be a proper snake in the grass type of thing, Paul. Oh, yes. AJ audits. I think if Starmer resigns, he'll be arrested and charged with treason. Let's hope he is. This is going to sound mad. I think I touched on this the other day. I don't want Starmer to resign because I think he's making such a good job of completely finishing the Labour Party forever. Let him carry on with it. The moderator, one of my very, very, very good super pals. Evening, mate. Rich, is your delegation to the US off now? Absolutely, Rich. Right now, that wouldn't be possible. Snakes and ladders, absolutely. Jackie, thank you very much, Jackie. Your heart will always be here with us. Indeed, Jackie, thank you. Matt, thank you. What about your other daughter? She still lives in the UK. She does, and that is one of the biggest problems. However, it's only a 2-hour flight, and, you know, I'll be getting them out here as often as I can. Thank you very much. Really appreciate that. You don't get the top jobs unless you sell your soul to the devil. Carol, I think you're absolutely right. So anything you guys want to discuss in particular tonight, stick it in the chat. And let's go through it. What a lovely message. Look, Mr. H, yay, Paul, we're all here together. There's nothing much we can do at the moment, but there's so many ordinary souls with common sense just waiting. Absolutely. And, you know, I'll say it till I'm blue in the face, and I know people will get fed up with me saying it. If you haven't registered to vote, I give up. I give up. The helmet's wrecking me hair. Yeah, I had a haircut yesterday. I was looking like I'd had my finger stuck in the plug socket when I woke up in the morning. If I were you, I'd stay in Benidorm. Do you know what, Jack? I'll tell you something. It's crazy out there. It is not like being abroad. Everyone, and I mean like 9 out of 10 people right along that strip are British. So, you know, thank you, Claire. What about our animals? Well, they'll be coming out. Yeah, we'll have to bring them out. Family, aren't they? Yeah, they won't be left behind, Catherine. They're like, I think the wife would rather leave me behind. No, not much chance of them being left behind. Another good one, our Lee. Nice one, mate. Lee from Barnsley. Love you, Lee. Hope all the family's well. Sufferfish, just finished work, full of selfish people, the public. Do you know something? This has been the tough part, right? Your faith in humanity could very easily be flushed down the toilet forever when you do social media. But then people like the ones that are in the comments right now, all you guys right now, you are the lifesavers. You're the people that restore my faith back in humanity. And I promise you now that if it wasn't for you guys that are in the chat right now, some of them my long-term friends that have stood by me, I've had a couple of them on the phone today. You know, they know the real me, and I think a lot of you guys know the real me. And without you, I would have shut this down months ago. But we need each other. I really do believe we need each other. Steve, I smell a change in the air in the UK. Lie about half finished. Oh, look, I think there's a change in the air big time, but that comes with a warning. If you look at what's potentially going on in Germany with the AfD, one of Starmer's last-ditch attempts to keep his iron fist on everyone could be to try and ban reform, to prescribe reform as a far-right party, which is just, you know, crazy. But we've seen some pretty crazy things, right? Lost in the dance floor. Ray Hill can't stop going on about you. That's fine. Let him say what he wants to say. Good luck to him. If it earns him some money and gets him some views, that's fine. I don't mind. Talk about the YouTube bullies. Well, you know, I always try and refrain from talking about anyone individually. I mean, look, one person on YouTube this week, I would have called a friend. You know, really, really super disappointed in one person that did a video about me and Danny, dissecting the video that I made with Danny, and calling it out and disputing its contents. And I find that really, really strange, I must admit. Because I know how YouTube works. I know what gets views. I know what gets If I want to make a video that gets me 250,000 views and earns 800 quid, I know exactly how to do it. And it ain't with the one that I did with Danny. You invent some drama, you pick a story, and you embellish it with a great headline, with a great thumbnail. That's genuine clickbait, and it's very easily done. I've always shied away from it. If you look back through my videos, there's very little clickbait. You have to encourage people to watch your video. It's no good putting up a thumbnail that's completely blank that just says, watch this, please. Nobody's going to watch that. But there's a fine line, and a difficult line that's difficult to tread sometimes, between encouraging people to watch a video and genuine clickbait. I consider there's some channels that many of us watch participate in clickbait, but I don't call them out. That's their business. It's not my business to challenge them. And I was disappointed in one gentleman who I believe his heart is in the right place, and I'm not gonna slag him off. I was just disappointed because I classed him as a friend, and I think it was unnecessary. I think it lacked class. But that's their decision. You live by your decisions, don't you? And you have to, justify them maybe in the future. Yep, AJ, thank you. Absolutely. And this is a decision that Claire's talking about the poll on Dan Wootton's. You should see the football shirts in Zanzibar, and it's not the tourists, it's the locals. Yeah. Gaz says, if I was in your boots, I wouldn't come back either. There's F all here worth coming back for. Look, every time I speak to someone at home, they just say, don't bother. Yeah, the animals can get passports. I mean, it's all a bit of a nose, but it can all be done. A lot of people worrying about the animals. Trust me, do not worry about our animals. But bless you for thinking that, thinking that. Yeah, some will be haters, but there are people out there that just don't care. I mean, this is the thing. What does he do? What does he do when he's released from prison? What would my advice be to him? Well, it's not a conversation I've had with him, so I can tell you what my advice would be, and I wouldn't be betraying any confidence because I've not had this conversation with him. Unfortunately, I've not been allowed to go and see him. Ned sums it up perfectly in capital letters. He's earned the right to do whatever he likes. And that is 1,000,000% correct. Pauline, so do I. And yeah, please don't worry about those pets of ours. When they come over here, they'll be travelling they'll be travelling better than I did, trust me. So what would my advice to him be? Let me think carefully about that for a second. Thank you, Sharon. You look so chilled, healthy and happy. Looking good, Paul. Being there, doing you good. We love you. Oh, bless you, Sharon. Thank you. Claire's been a member for 12 months now. Wow. Thank you, Claire. Amazing. Steve, thank you. Tommy and Paul in Benny. Oh, can't wait. That'd be nice to see him out here. My advice to him would be fatherly. He's got his own daddy, don't need me, right? But any man of that age I would give my fatherly advice to. That would be it's time to take care of yourself. You have given everything to your country. You have gone over and above, beyond any call of duty. It is insane the weight of people's expectations that you have on your shoulders, and ultimately it may kill you one way or another. The battle that he faces is one that is probably unwinnable, in the respect that the media will ensure that he is always the bogeyman. He is their excuse for their failures. He is their bogeyman for their lack of courage. And they will never, ever, ever admit to their wrongdoings. And the government, the powers that be, they want him gone. Gateway, great question, mate. I'm going to do you know what? I'm really going to enjoy answering it in a minute. Thank you, mate, for that. I'm going to leave it up on screen so I don't bloody forget. Brexit, what a great topic. Now that I'm going to be staying here in Spain for a while, for a long while by the looks of things. Touch wood. My advice is he needs to start taking care of himself and his family. I believe he is addicted to the calls. And I think he needs to come out of prison, Stephen Lennon. I think Tommy Robinson maybe needs to be put to bed, if you like, for his sake. And Stephen Lennon needs to be born again. I'm just thinking out loud now. Really, I'm just thinking out loud. But he's got some big decisions to make. Knowing Tommy, he'll come out and crack on like he always does. But I hope that when he comes out, we can get the chance to sit down together and have a chat. Because I think that there's so much good in him that people haven't seen, won't see, refuse to see. But there are also things in his life that he needs to change for himself. But who knows? Gateway X, as much as I like you, Paul, just admit that Brexit was a mistake. Man up, mate. Okay, I was thinking about that on the whilst around on the e-scooter earlier on. 1,650 people watching. Thank you very much for joining me tonight. Just got a little message that the wife always not brilliant. Hopefully that's going to pick up. Let me just grab my phone. Someone's messaging me. Let's have a little look. Hold on a sec. Talk about being live, eh? Thank you very much, mate. That's it. Right. So this is how unselfish a person that I am. And this is a great story to tell. It's all about the money, 4P. Remember, I'm a grifter and it's all about the money. I voted Brexit knowing that it would destroy my business. And the reason it would destroy my business was because I was a professional high-end watch dealer. Now, anyone in the watch business, anyone that knows me in the watch business, anyone that has been around me in the watch business will testify, even if they detest me, they will have to admit that most of my money came from buying in Europe and selling in the UK, predominantly Germany. I would travel to Munich 6-8 times a year, spend a lot of money in Germany when the pound was at 140, 145. Those were the days. I could bring those watches home and make a very nice profit, thank you, while still offering my customers a decent and fair price. Now, when Brexit came around, all of my watch dealer friends were saying to me, Paul, you surely cannot be voting for Brexit. And I said, I will be voting for Brexit because if it's done properly and the way that we want it to be done, it will benefit my children's future. It will make our country a greater place to live for our kids down the line. And more than anything, it will make it a safer place for our children down the line. And their answer was, but you know that your business is going to go rapidly downhill. Your ability to buy is going to be over. Your ability to make money is going to be 10 times harder. And I said, yeah, I know all that. But my country and my kids come first. 99% of them voted to stay in the EU because, with all due respect, they care more about their business than they did their country's future. That's my opinion. Sorry, watch dealers that voted for Brexit. But for me, it wasn't about the money. It was about our children's future. Whether we've had a successful Brexit is completely different. The Brexit that we've had, I agree, has been a pile of dog's crap. It's not what we voted for. It's not what we wanted. It's not what we asked for. It's not what we expected. So if I'd known we was going to get the Brexit that we've got, would I have still voted Brexit? Well, that's another question. That's another question. The pound now sits at what? 115, 116-ish, something like that. There's problems getting things in, problems getting things out. If I want to stay here, I've got to apply for a visa. I accept all that. And I accept all that wholeheartedly. My reasons for voting Brexit were different. Has it been a disaster? Yes, Brexit's been a bit of a disaster, only because of the buggers that delivered it or failed to deliver it. There's a lot of pet lovers in the chat tonight. They're all going to come with us. Captain Scarlet, 167 million views. Job done, Tommy. Time to come home. Free Tommy. Free political prisoners. Rest in peace, Peter Lynch. Hear, hear. already going for an hour. Wow, time flies. Can you listen? Can you hear this? Can you hear that in the background? I don't know if you can hear it. Let me know if you can hear that in the background. Jackie Lee, how's the Spanish lingo going? Not slowly. But I mean, listen, I'm going to try. One of these people that comes to a foreign country and expects them to speak my language all the time. Do my best. I think if you try, thank you very much, bless your heart. I think if you try, it's respected. Thank you, Jean. That's very nice of you. Says Tommy has suffered enough for his country. He should go abroad and recuperate with his family. Look, if again going back to my advice, I would think that I think Tommy should speak to Elon Musk. I think he should try and meet Donald Trump. I think he should carry on with his work from America, potentially. Don't think that's ever going to happen. Reform, I'm not going to entertain that at all. And look, let's be fair. I think he's recognised this all along himself. He's never asked to be a part of reform. And it may not be the best move for reform. Because one thing that Farage said the other night that I do agree with is that an election won't be won on X, and that is true. These bloody things are worse than the fags. That's cigarettes to any American viewers. Yeah, I agree. 100%. Yeah, he needs some time with his family. And I hope that when he's out, people leave him alone. Let him get his head back together and, let him do what he wants to do. And I these things are bad for you. I think that there's a lot of healing needs to be done. Absolutely. Just trying to. I've got the slow mode on the chat tonight. Cosmic Lover. Wow, I've been allowed to comment. I haven't stopped you from commenting. I don't know why you haven't been able to comment before. For some reason, I'm hitting the comments and they're not highlighting. There we go. Rick and Rach Cousins. Perhaps the 29 were from the left, mate. Do you know what? I don't necessarily think they were. Some people just... They want a suicide pilot, don't they? They want a kamikaze pilot to go steaming in and to hell with the consequences. Leslie says it won't allow the England flag. Odd. Corny, but let you motivators. Corny. Thank you, Craig. Craig, Craig Mawson, thank you very much for that. The old eyesight's going a bit. I can't see that poll on. He's removed it. I don't know. I'm trying to get some of his comments up, but for some reason there's a delay. Here we go. Matthew Davis, I advise people to watch the Black Belt. He's brilliant, isn't he? Oh, he's brilliant. Love his channel. He is brilliant. Advise to watch the rest of the video as he advises people to remove the video from social media and advise Tommy team as a defence for his release, essentially. Yeah, exactly. Black Belt barrister. Yeah. It's when you put the England flag on the chat. I don't know what's going on there. Paul, thoughts on a fully just rate it or hate it? Ugh. I used to love them, but they're a bit old hat now, to be honest with you. Especially if they're aftermarket bezels and that, you know. I mean, years ago they were the in thing, but not now. Leslie's saying she can't put the England flag up. See if you can do that. Yeah, Dan's vote. Yeah. Bon Jovi, under the opinion that you can't be tried for the same crime twice. Tommy has, yeah. Do you know what? Double jeopardy, you know. But I think there was a twist in the legal tale to that one. Yeah, he needs a major break, and all that lies in America. I'm getting a signal that the Wi-Fi is very, very poor at the moment. Let me just drop it down. Right, I've dropped the resolution down because I was getting some signal that the Wi-Fi was dropping out. So hopefully I'm back. Yeah, Lubna was very wrenching, wasn't it? Ned. Where are you, Ned? Let's have a look. If it will come up, there's a delay. Let's talk about you getting me a ticket at Brighton for the Liverpool game, Paul. Ned, I can talk about that very quickly. The chances are slim and none, and Slim's out of town. I'm not a Brighton fan for a start. I don't live in Brighton at the moment. Thank you, Linda Wigman. Appreciate that. Philip, thank you, mate. Really appreciate that. I've lost a few this week. Looks like the connection's playing up a little bit, guys. Don't know why that would be, but if it does, hang on in there. Hopefully, it will be back. Hi, Paul. Any reasons? Let me click this up. Why the comments? Something's playing up on the StreamYard tonight. I'm clipping the comments and it's not coming up. There it is. After about 8 attempts. Hi, Paul. Any reason you didn't buy the SP Hypermotard? I didn't want to pay the extra money for the Öhlins shocks that, frankly, I don't really feel the difference, to be honest. And I preferred the look of the other model. I reckon them smoothing settings must be on because that's not the first. Yeah, they got to be. Even that, I've had a lot of Botox. Let me have a look. Hold on a minute. Let me look at the settings. Yeah, they're on. There you go. They're off. That's better. That's the normal me. Yeah, look, you can see the lines now. They were on, but they're off now. Be reminded, Spain is still run by a socialist government aligned with the far left. I mean, look, it's none of my business. I'm not Spanish, so I have no say or feelings towards the Spanish government. It's not my business. Do I make an effort to speak Spanish? Yeah, I do. And actually, all joking aside, over the years, my Spanish is not too bad. I mean, I don't want to exaggerate it, but, you know, can I carry out a conversation with someone? No, not a full-blown conversation, definitely not. But I can do the essentials, if that makes sense. Thank you, Rudolph. I appreciate that. I haven't deserted Britain. Britain has deserted me. I'm going to sneeze. Getting a touch of hay fever out here. It's a robot. They've locked up the pool. Yes, it's off now. The softener, the skin softener was on, but it's off now. Let's have a look. Anything you want to discuss tonight? I'm feeling very relaxed. What I haven't got is I haven't got a drink. I should have a nice Bailey, shouldn't I, really? People talking about the England flag. Now, I've seen a few England flags on here tonight. There's one above. Look, there you go. Can you not see that? I can see it. Evening, Chris. Yeah, very much so. A very interesting report I saw today. Let me just share it briefly with you. See if it's going to come up on screen. Everything seems to be acting up tonight. Hold on a minute. Yeah, there we go. It's taking ages to come up. There we go. So this is from His Majesty's... let me just get my phone because I had a note of... I just got a nice pen. What does this stand for? Let me get it on a minute. Let's have a look. Here we go. It stands for His Majesty's Inspectorate of Fire and Rescue Services. So this is an official report looking back at last year's riots and the trouble that we saw last summer. And I would recommend that you have a read of this. It's a very interesting report, but one of the most interesting conclusions that His Majesty's Inspectorate has found, and I quote, HMICFRS found no conclusive evidence conclusive evidence that the 2024 disorder was deliberately meditated or coordinated by any specific group or network. Inspectors said that it was mostly disaffected individuals, influencers, that people to act violently and take part in disorder rather than criminal factions or extremists. And it was mainly unrelated to their ideology or political views. The causes of the disorder were complex, but the overwhelming speed and volume of online content further it spread. That's a fair analogy. I think that I think we knew all along that the problem last year, I didn't see any coordination or any groups looking to organise problems. It seemed to me to be individuals, disaffected individuals, as His Majesty's own inspectorate is saying. Were there any online influencers stirring it up or promoting it? I didn't see any. I mean, there probably was somewhere, but I didn't see any. And all of the influencers that I was watching were doing precisely the opposite. We're trying to calm things down. But it's a very interesting report and one that I would recommend that you take a look at. Spanish law, crash helmet. Can we see you with that crash helmet? Dawn. I think there's a picture of me on it in Danny's channel, but you know, I'm a little bit too vain for that on here. I'm only kidding. Vamp Diva. Thank you. The voices in my head are all I hear. Love you. Thank you, Vamp Diva. Rob Quinn, stay there, Paul, mate. If I could, I would. Thank you. AJ Audits has been a member for 6 months now. Thank you very much for that. Really appreciate it. Make sure you sub to his channel. Richard the Iman, I asked for a Paul Thought special at Pizza Express in Ibiza and got a slap in the face from the waitress. I'm not going to live that one down, am I? If any of you don't know what the pizza messages are about, I tried to order a hot pizza in Spanish, and it was a horny pizza or a sexy pizza, and well, at least the waitress found it funny. Jackie Lee, is the missus catching up on EastEnders while you're out on the balcony? No, she's not. She's actually with my daughter, to be fair. Richard the Iman again. Thank you very much. Let's have a little look. Your background looks just like a shot from Grand Theft Auto 6 trailer. Have you seen any of Danny in Spain uploads? Yeah, I try and keep up with Danny's videos. I'm seeing Danny again on Monday. I think we've got something planned. Hopefully. Some lovely comments in the chat. I'm not going to read them all out because they're so nice. Thank you so much from, I can see them there. Because did you abandon your dog? Do you really think that we would do that? Come on. More importantly, do you think allow us to do that? You got to be kidding. She'd abandoned me before she abandoned the dog. I don't know if the internet's playing up, but it keeps flashing on this screen. What are you saying about the control of our financial system? Who is behind it? That's probably a question that's to be honest with you. I'll tell you what, we definitely got a lot of dog lovers in the chat tonight. Yeah, Lubna is another very brave individual. And she, unfortunately, is suffering the consequences of putting her head above the parapet. Well, Andrew, at 57, my whole family, including myself, is moving to the USA. What part have you chosen, Andrew? Sharon says, I look brighter in myself and more relaxed. Well, look, Sharon, I feel it. I'm going to have to put a special video up about the dog, aren't I? I can see this. Paul, have I seen Richard's latest video? I don't think so. I don't know. What was it about? I might have done. I haven't seen that one, Angela. I'll have to have a little look. Yeah, Linda, I think we're both feeling better. Thank you. Paul, thoughts on what Nigel Farage said about Rupert Lowe the other day? I'm not sure. Did I catch up with that? Remind me, I have been watching some of what's been going on this week. What did he say about Rupert Lowe? Jack, put it in the chat because I'd like to talk about it if I did see it. Although I don't know if or how far I am down the chat. I've got slow mode on. James Percy, nice if you have the means to escape. Yeah, look, James, I'm well aware that there are plenty of people that haven't. And I'm very aware that through many, many years of hard work, I am able to make the move out here. But I also lost my parents fairly young as well. And I was an only child. They left me what they had to leave me, obviously. And sometimes when people say I'm lucky, it annoys me because losing your parents, there's nothing lucky about losing your parents young. So I'd rather have my mum and dad, put it that way. Yeah, Debbie, Paul, you could save the world and the haters will still say something bad. Thank you, Debbie. Really appreciate that. Tell you what, I've been suffering for a bit of hay fever out here. Answer about your animals, Pauline. Yeah, they're all fine, Pauline. I promise you. Absolutely. Let's have a little look at this one because I think it's important that I answer any mild criticisms as well. Amaray, evening. Oh, Paul, not having a go. This is just an observation. Until recently, you were saying that nothing would make you leave the UK. It shows how bad things are that you have made this decision. Yeah, look, I don't want to leave home. I mean, my wife has been very upset, very tearful. She just wants to live at home. She just wants to feel safe at home. And with one of my daughters moving here, it's been very difficult. I don't want to leave the UK. Like I said, I've not deserted the UK. The UK has deserted me. I will be back, but not until, at least I don't think, until this Labour government are gone. Because I don't feel safe, and I don't feel that my family are safe with the current Labour government. Torty says, I wish we were still in the EU, as moving to Spain would have been so much easier than it is now. Of course it would have been, yeah. I'd have been there by now if we were. Well, that is, again, one of the downsides of Brexit. But again, we'd hoped for the right rewards at home, hadn't we? But as it turns out, we didn't get either. We were stitched up every which way. The answer to that, Haramba, quite honestly, is no one. You can discuss UK politics in Spain. Funny enough, I was talking to a gentleman from Hungary earlier, who's been living here now for many years, and we got speaking, and he asked me where I was from. Obviously, he knew I was English. I said London, and he just went, "What's happened to London?" DMD YouTube, how can you stay more than 3 months? Well, I'll have to get the appropriate visas. Absolutely beautiful sunset. Yeah, it's pretty good. I'm going to try and scroll down the chat a little bit because obviously there's loads and loads still. Donald from America, lovely. Thank you, mate. Nice to see you. John Spall, just seen a 101-year-old veteran on TV saying that the country as it is not what he risked his life for, let alone all those that sacrificed themselves. Well, I suppose he's a far-right thug, is he? Yeah, Katie's up there, isn't she? She's magnificent. God, look, you learn something every day. Michael Jackson, Starmer's father, is a tool maker. Nice one. Never knew that. Do you know, I think there's more comments about my dogs here tonight than anything else. Lovely view, says Maureen. That's a good idea for the thumbs up. It's going crazy on my computer. You do look very relaxed and happy. Being in Spain is doing you the world of good. Thank you very much. Ting Yu has been with me from the early days and he missed all the laughs with Spencer and all the Watts talk. Yeah, look, I think we want to. I just want to get back to having a bit of fun as well. Everyone knows how I feel, and I wanted to come out and vent my frustrations with our country. I wanted to show my support for a man that I thought had given his all and been super brave. I've done that now. And, you know, I've built a new audience, which I love very much. And we'll just see how it goes. Let's have a look here. Precious Quinty De Vere, thank you. Looks like our Tommy's coming home. Let's hope so, eh? Corinne, thank you, Corinne. Nice to see you live. And you look so well, Paul. Lovely. Thank you very much, Corinne. Jackie, your filters of eyes looking a bit baggy. But they are a bit baggy. I'll tell you what, bit of surgery wouldn't go amiss, would it? What could I have? What should I have? What do you reckon? I've had that before, though. I had Botox once and I had too much, and it was like that. I couldn't smile for a week. Last time I do that. Let's have a little look. Right, so we've been on for an hour and a half, guys. Really loved the chat this evening. There's another one that, don't worry, they're going to be fine. Oh, John, look, a Brentford fan. And there's more than one of you. I'm only joking, John. We got you in a couple of weeks, haven't we? I've got to be honest. You can be a bit of a bogey side to us at times. Are the fake Beatles still playing at Talk of the Town? I don't know. Now, guys, before we go, Debbie, look, are you going to set up a new business? Debbie, I honestly don't know. The trouble with me is, look, I retired, Debbie. I retired in 2016, right? But I got very, very quick. And then I started doing YouTube full time talking about what is, right? Which led me to going all over the world and doing all sorts of wild and wacky stuff. I can't really sit still. I'm not ready for me pipe and slippers yet. That's the problem. Or me mobility scooter. Laney Lou, do you still support Tommy? He needs all the Laney. Of course I do. Of course I still support him. That's not in question. My point all along, since I've pulled back a little bit, is that I want people to judge me for me, not for anyone else. No one. For me. And that's it. The trouble is, when you get too close to any groups, any political parties, any individuals, people come down on you for different reasons. And I don't want that. But of course I still stand by him. A lot of people saying, have I seen Richard's latest video? Let me just have a look. Is it something I should have seen? Let me have a look. I'll have a look. I can't find it at the moment, but I'll have a look and I'll watch it in a minute. I might have seen it. Okay, looks like Farage has said something about Rupert Lowe on GB News today that I haven't seen. Paul, did I get my railing sorted before I left? I did, thanks to a very good friend of mine, Matt. He may well be watching, who recommended me to his dentist, and his dentist managed to sort me out. But I'm afraid these, as decent as they look, are a bit jigsaw puzzlish. And frankly, I never know when I'm going to wake up one morning and half of them are gone. Yeah, let's say, look, flights to Spain, 59 quid. Any Seagulls tops, Paul? I haven't seen any, Ted. I haven't seen any, and I'm going to be honest, I haven't seen any Fulham shirts either, which is rather disappointing. What's the weather like? Is it warm? Yeah, I mean, I'm actually quite burnt. I've got, yeah. I mean, I'll like Frank Bruno in a fortnight. You watch. I go quite dark when I'm in the sun a lot. More British than over here. Yeah, there is. John Windsor, this is a watch one. A lot of YouTubers are alleging that Rolex have been made in China since 1971 and sent to Switzerland to be stamped and glass fitted. I don't believe that, John. But I believe, what I do believe is there are a lot of YouTubers out there that would be delighted if that was true, because they can destroy again. You see, this is what people want to do. They want to destroy. They want to destroy anything that anything that they can, basically. Let's have a look at this one. Right, I've got some news for this one. Fulham versus Manchester United. That's Manchester United, right? FA Cup semi-final 1968. Third round. 4-2 Fulham. Referee. Hold on a minute. Oh, no, sorry. FA Cup. I thought we said semi-final. Is that Fulham versus Macclesfield? Because I know my dad was at a Fulham Manchester United FA Cup final. I think it was at Highbury. Paul, I respect all cultures in the UK. I left the UK for LA and never looked back. Paul, Alicante is okay, or Mercia. Nice one, Alan. I mean, look, Alan, I've been to LA more than once. It's okay. I mean, I couldn't live there. I've got to be honest, mate. I couldn't. I don't think I could live there. I think America's too big for me. I think, you know, the need for a drive everywhere you get. So I can understand why people do live there. Dave has seen the flashing helmet on Danny's video, right? I knew he'd do me. There you go, Jay Will. All I can say, Paul, is buy a big plot of land as we're all coming. Wouldn't that be nice? Bless you. We love you too. Thank you so much, sweet hamster. Thank you, Papa. Really appreciate that. I am looking forward to coming home. But I want to come home with a welcome, not with a fear. And that's the truth. AFD aren't banned anymore. Well, they've not been banned, but they're talking about it. And there seems to be moves to maybe try and ban the AFD. And, you know, it's possible they could do the same with Reform. Who's talking about David Lammy? Michael Jackson again. Paul, are you going to take a digital ID when it's rolled out and forced on us worldwide? Well, look, Rosemary, this is the thing. If you can't have a bank account or can't get a doctor's appointment, I mean, look, they can pretty much force on you wherever they want, can't they? Would we comply? Well, it depends. Like I said, if you need a doctor's appointment and you can't get one because you haven't got a digital ID, doesn't leave you with a lot of choice, does it? Thank you, John Capone. Thank you. Right, let's have a little look. I think we'll call it a night there, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Fiona Smith. Do you think I should confront the famous person that was racist to me? Yeah, why not? No, definitely not, Jack. Definitely not. Lots and lots and lots of comments again. Impossible to get through them all. But nice and relaxed. I really enjoyed this tonight. I mean, numbers are down, obviously, because we're not talking hot, super hot topics. But who cares? I mean, at the end of the day, that's not what it's about. Still well over 1,500 people watching at one stage tonight. I've no longer got X. I've closed my X account. So I'm not going to bother with X anymore because of the trolls and the nonsense. I just can't be arsed with it. I'm sticking on here, and that's where I'm happiest. So lovely to see you all. Thank you so much for joining us. I don't know when Danny's live next. He's got the bit between his teeth, hasn't he? I know he's really enjoying it. But why wouldn't he with such a great audience? Guys, love to you all. As always, have a great weekend. Friday night, have a great weekend. Stay safe, stay well. And as always, make sure you look after those lovely children. I'll see you again soon. Have a great weekend. And watch